So we've had this water boiling for a while, and I've been holding it just at about around boiling point. It's either been simmering or, as you can see now, it's boiling just a little bit. You see some bubbles. Just to warn everybody about this, because I got myself a minute ago with the water, and it may be something to do with this being really pure water. I don't know. But it's probably due to the point on the tip of this thermometer. But when you put this in the water, you can see you're getting some bubbling there, and if I do it too quickly, it can splash up and got the tips of my fingers. So just kind of be careful of working around that water when you're putting things in and out. When you drop something in to clean it, it's likely to boil up on you, and it could burn your fingers, and don't want to do that. So hopefully I'm all right. I don't think I'm going to blister anything. It just was kind of caught me off guard and pissed me off more than anything else. So the first thing I'm going to do, I need some clean surfaces for the utensils to clean them, to place them on once I've dipped them into the boiling water. And so I've got a couple plates out here, and I'm going to move these over to the sink, and I'm going to pour some boiling water on the tops of these plates, so I have a pretty much sterile surface. So I'll move these over to the kitchen sink, and let's see. And then we're going to get. I have this little stainless measuring cup here. Actually, got these real deal. They're like $2 a piece, and use them for steaming milk with the espresso machine. So I'm just going to dip in here and use some of our boiling hot water, and I'm going to come over back to the sink. I'm going to pour this over this plate. These plates are probably pretty clean, in that they went through the dishwasher and probably came out sterile. But I, of course, or someone at least handled them, moving them from the dishwasher to the cabinet, and probably got some fingerprints on top. This is probably a bit excessive. I'm just really cautious about getting anything into the yogurt. Once the yogurt has incubated and set and everything, it will kind of keep itself clean for a good while, a month or two, I think, in the refrigerator, because as the culture grows, it's going to produce. It's going to get really acidic, and the acid is what helps purify it. Now, I did kind of touch the edge of this plate. Normally, I'd maybe be a little more cautious. I'm kind of distracted with recording here, but I think we'll be fine. So I'll pull these out. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got a stainless steel bowl here. I did just wash it, scrub it good, but I'm going to clean it also. And so I'm going to take, and I think I'll just dip it right into the pots of boiling water over here. And I need to get my tongs. This is a really good idea to use tongs to do this kind of stuff, and so you don't burn yourself like I did a minute ago. And I'm just going to roll it around in here. The bottom of this really does not need to be that clean, but some of the items that you're going to be dipping into the milk with, whatever I use to get the milk out of the stock pot later. If you're dipping anything down into the milk like that, you want to be sure that the whole utensil or cup or whatever is clean. So got that, placed it over here on this plate. I'm going to dip these tools in, just a couple stainless steel utensils. Might as well do my tongs too. And then I'm going to use this to kind of pour over these tools, utensils. I'm going to be sure that anything that I'm going to dip down into the milk is good and clean. All right, let's pull these out and then hold them by the tips, for the handles at least for now. Put those over on our plate that we poured hot water onto. These are pretty handy little tongs here. They've got a little mechanism on the handle that when you flip it over, it goes into lock. So it's locked now, and I flip it back, and so confuses everybody. They think they're broken. And my little cup here. Let's go ahead and do it. Throw that in. I'm going to grab my tongs by the tips, swirl it around. It's not so critical. It's nice that it has a little handle on it, so you can't hold it by the handle. But now, once I do have it thoroughly washed in the boiling water, you turn the temperature up a little bit on that. I turned it down, of course, earlier to get it back to a good boil. Okay, now I'm going to try not to touch it other than to touch it by the handle going forward. All right, we need to grab one other thing I don't have ready. I have a whisk over in the dishwasher. I'm going to walk over and actually I turned the dishwasher off so you don't hear it in the recording. I need to grab a whisk, and I'm going to just rinse that off over here. It's washed already. I'm pretty sure it's clean. But we are going to stick it into the boiling water with everything else, like we did everything else. Okay. Press that thing in. Use my little scoop here. Pour that over it. Okay. And see if I can do this without burning myself. So use that what we're going to do, use this bowl and the whisk in a moment. We're going to scoop out a little bit once the milk has we get it out of the steamer and over into the sink, and we cool it down below 130 degrees. We're going to scoop out a couple cups of milk, put it into this bowl, and then we'll scoop out the yogurt that's still. I put it back in the fridge. We're going to scoop that out, and we're going to whisk the yogurt with some milk. We want to get the yogurt so that it is pretty well broken up. We don't want to just pour the whole container of yogurt directly into the yogurt. We want to kind of whisk it in with some milk, kind of fold it in, I guess, so that we don't have chunks of the yogurt floating around in the milk. We want to disperse all of the culture as much as we can, so it's evenly spread throughout all of the milk and is more effective that way. So I think next we'll go ahead and we'll start sterilizing the containers. In that we won't be dipping these containers into the milk. We're going to sterilize them, but we're only going to worry about the insides of these. So just do this. I'm going to try to use all the same containers. It just makes it a little same brand of yogurts. I'm going to use these Old Nancy containers. In that it just makes it a little simpler to deal with the lids and not have multiple size lids. And I kind of do it like this. I can put like 3 in at a time. Maybe we'll see if that'll fit. Push those down, and they'll fill up with water. And then at this point, I'm going to grab them with the tongs, and then I'm going to turn those around like that for a couple times. It might be easier just not to do these in stacked. Let's see. The problem with these Nancy yogurt containers, they've got some glue on the bottom of it. Sometimes that'll come off. Let's see. Get that out of there. So that's good to go. Okay. So we'll do several of these. We're probably going to need about let's see, 8, 16. We maybe need 16 to 20 of these going. So I won't do all of these now, but in addition to the containers, we're going to want to do we'll want to do the lids too. We want to be sure that we get all of it's a standing lid. We don't want that in there. So I'm just going to toss all these in at once, like this, in the water. Just give them a moment. Now these, I do want to get them on a plate because, well, it doesn't really matter. I can turn them upside down on the counter. Counter's pretty clean. So anyway, that's the process. We just want to go through. We'll shake all the water out of them. We'll go over here, place them on the counter, face or the inside up, so that they're not touching anything, and we should be good to go there. So I'm going to go through and do a good 20 or so of these, and then we'll come back in a moment, and the milk should be up to temperature, and we'll get it over to the sink and into our ice bath. Next step. See you soon.